Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Kawaii Britt, and today we're going to be continuing on with my October series. This month, the videos will all be Halloween themed, and instead of verbalizing the steps I take to make my creations, I'm going to be sharing different spooky stories. My stories, my town stories, and other stories that just interest me. I'm aware that many of you may be skeptics, so if that's the case, I hope you enjoy the craft I'm making. And for those of you interested in history, haunts, and just plain spooky things, I hope you enjoy taking this adventure in the series with me. Today, we are going to travel over to Chickies Rock. Located on the shores of the Susquehannock River south of Harrisburg, Chickies Rock is home to many great views. There are industrial ruins, bike paths, waterfalls, caves, and even ghosts. Located between the boroughs of Columbia and Marietta is Chickies Rock. At over 422 acres, it is the county's second largest regional park. Its most notable feature is the massive outcropping of the quartzite rock towering 200 feet above the river. The vista offers impressive views of York County, the borough of Marietta, and farmlands of northwestern Lancaster County. Bike paths and walking trails now lead visitors to the sites of interest in Chickies Rock County Park. The area once boasted 7 iron furnaces and rolling mills, a canal, and a trolley line. All can still be seen today. The rock and surrounding land seem to possess a certain magnetism. Hundreds of years ago, it attracted Native Americans. In fact, it gets its name from the Susquehannock Indians, who called the spot Chickies-Rock, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong. It means the place of the crayfish. There is also a nearby stream with the same name, which is also now called Chickies Creek. The first legends were passed on by the Native Americans who saw ghosts roaming around back in their day. One of the oldest tales, regardless of the versions, is that of Lover's Leap. In the first rendition of this tale, a mutual suicide pact took place. The two lovers took the leap off the 200-foot precipice when forbidden to marry. The second rendition of the story of Lover's Leap goes as follows. A young Susquehannock Native American lived at Chickies Rock with his beautiful wife. One autumn, the man left on an extended trading expedition with far-off tribes. While he was away, his wife fell in love with a nearby white settler. The two would sneak off under the cover of darkness to Chickies Rock to meet in secret. When the man returned home, he noticed the lack of interest from his wife and became suspicious. One night, he followed his wife after seeing her sneak out. He followed her up the hill to Chickies Rock. There he saw his wife in the arms of another man, a white man. The Native American went into a rage. He pulled out his tomahawk and ran at the white man. He repeatedly hacked him and then slit the man's throat. He then cast the rival's lifeless body off the cliff's edge. Furious over this betrayal, the man lunged at his wife. He grabbed her, and he attempted to throw her off the cliff. In the struggle, they both fell off. The woman's screams are still heard to this day. The man also remains to haunt the area. When exploring the area around Chickies Rock, people report seeing a ghostly Native American figure silently moving through the night on a revengeful mission. Sometimes he's even seen holding a tomahawk. He's frequently seen in, around, or on top of the old tunnel at dusk or on overcast days. There are many people who believe that this is the ghost of this spurned lover, but others believe that the apparitions that are there to warn people to stay off the sacred grounds. There are also many stories of drumming being heard, but nobody seems to be able to locate where this drumming is coming from. One of the more recent ghost stories is of a mummified ghost. This ghost is armless, and he has arrows sticking out all over him. In 1946, Harriet Horn was enjoying a picnic with her co-workers at the scenic lookout when she realized they forgot water. When she and some friends went to retrieve it, they were met with a creature some 16 feet tall with no arms or visible legs. Its head was bandaged and there were 6 knives protruding from the bandages. Another story shared is of a shadow person that wanders the woods at the top of the rock, decked out in fedora and cape. As recently as 2004, a tall, shadowy silhouetted man wearing a fedora-style hat and flowing cape was spotted. Similarly dressed specters exist in Native American lore throughout the country. They seem to be fond of remote areas and usually seen standing atop cliffs and hills, where they act like sentries or watchmen. The spirits of men have also been seen at the foot of the cliff, appearing and then vanishing before your eyes. These are said to be the apparitions of the railroad and canal workers who had lost their lives. Another resident of Chickies Rock is said to be the Albatwitch. The Albatwitch is a small, about 4 feet tall, man-like creature who supposedly lives in the wooded areas. The Albatwitches were also reported along the wooded areas by the shore. The Susquehannock Native Americans held a belief in this ape-like creature, even depicting it on their battle shields. The Susquehannock's home is said to be at the base of Chickies Rock, where the ruin of a village and a burial grounds were found at one time. The Albatwitch gained that reputation in the late 1800s when Chickies Rock was a popular picnic spot complete with a trolley that ran there from Columbia. The creature is named for the habit it is said to possess, that of being an apple snitch. Legends speak of how the Albatwitches would oftentimes steal apples from the picnickers, occasionally even throwing them at the startled people. The creature has been sighted sitting in the treetops, coming down only to look for food. The legend also says that the Albatwitches either became extinct or were driven nearly into extinction in the later years of the 19th century. As the years passed, fewer sightings of the Albatwitch had been reported, although there are a few that have been reported in the 70s and some as late as 2005 in Lancaster and in Annville, about 10 to 20 miles down the road. Their base at Chickies Rock has long been the hub of stories concerning strange sounds and sights and a cracking whip noise that are all attributed to the Albatwitch. Even if you don't believe in the paranormal events, Chickies Rock is a place of death. Before the county built a fence around the summit in 1990, 1 or 2 people died there every year. 4 deaths at Chickies Rock have been reported since the fence was built. The most recent was in 2006 when a teenager fell while watching trains. Many believe these deaths could be caused by a curse that was placed on Chickies Rock. Towards the end of the 19th century, 3 sisters had lived in a small house atop Chickies Hill. It was a common belief by many in the town that these women were practitioners of the black arts. The sisters were content to be left alone, away from the progress of the rapidly modernizing world. However, a plan was made to build tracks along the side of the ridge from Columbia with a completion date of 1893. The railway would climb 1,900 feet on a 6% grade, running on the west side of Chickies Hill and then carving sharply west to reach Chickies Park. It was here that an amusement park would be built on the west end of the ridge, atop Chickies Rock, overlooking the Susquehanna. The only problem was that the home occupied by the 3 sisters sat squarely in the middle of the proposed site. The railway began purchasing all the land. The sisters were not eager to sell. The C&D made several offers, but the sisters refused to give up their ancestral home. Railway officials discussed building the park around the sisters, but gave up due to the controversy of the sisters possibly being witches. Left with no alternative, the trolley company convinced local officials to give them the land through eminent domain. Still refusing to leave, but left with no other choices, the sisters made a suicide pact. Before they followed through, the sisters cast a spell to curse the land in an affirmation that greed on the part of the new owners would certainly bring death. Afterward, a series of costly mishaps plagued the company concerning both the construction and the operation of the park. Some believe the curse caused a tragic 1896 trolley accident that killed 6 and injured another 68 when a deadly swarm of potato bugs descended on the tracks. It is believed that the sisters' black magic spell still curses the ground to this day. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this October's theme. If you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button up there to be notified when my next video comes out. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are located in the description for you. I also stream. Check me out on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My Twitch is also in the description. If you made it this far, hit the like button if you haven't already. And let me know in the comments, would you be interested in hearing more of my ghost stories in the future? Thanks again for watching, everyone. Happy haunting!